what they did with the two receivers that were lined up behind each other, if it hadn't been for a false start, penalty that marched him back 5 yards. But yeah, very interesting formations. And we'll see kind of what they do going forward, if those are just kind of, some special, kind of maybe some unique plays designed for specific situations, or if we'll see more of those as the game moves forward. Because we really haven't seen them up until now. They've kind of been 3, 4, 5 different formations. They will line up in a more traditional formation in the shotgun with Anastasia Brandy to Raymond's right. He'll get pressured, escapes the sack by Flores. Flores still pursuing. Raymond turns around and takes it back to the middle of the field. She has some space to run if she goes to the outside. She's going to come back to the inside across the 40. A lot of work being done. I think she got to the 42-yard line before getting drugged back.
Macy Ryden on the quarterback keeper for the Cougars. Second by Danielle Dunn.
A lot of scrambling and running
the Pioneers.
Alyssa Flores was
short gain on the play, brings the ball up to the
backfield,
Cougars 42-yard line. Third and long for the Cougars.
3 yards.
Timeout Cougars.
Third and long. It's going to be 3rd and 18 after the Cougars timeout with 10 seconds left to go in the first half. And the score still Pioneers 6, Cougars 0.
Kind of been enough time to throw the ball, but if you're that athletic, might as well just see if you can pull it down instead of running yourself.
I'll give a quick shout out to the coaching staff. There's 4 coaches on this Pioneers coaching staff. Head coach and offensive coordinator is Mike Putnam. Assistant head coach and defensive coordinator is Tim Valdivieso. Assistant coach and wide receiver and defensive back coordinator is Steve Polanski. And another assistant coach running the offensive line and defensive line is Jaron Tabor. So both teams out of timeouts. 2 receivers on each side of the formation. 3 receivers to the right, excuse me. Brandon is alone in the backfield. Might be the last play. Brandon's going to step up. Alyssa Flores wrapped around the waist, and it's going to be an incomplete pass. Her pass was intended there to
pass by Macy Ryan, incomplete.
The one closest in the area. Got some pretty good
Brings up 3rd down for the Cougars at their own 42-yard line.
So it is going to be a 4th and 18 after the incomplete pass. Barring a defensive penalty, this will be the last play of the first half. Going to be in the same shotgun formation. It's going to be a punt from Ryman. It's going to bounce at the 28-yard line. It's going to be fielded by Holly Bratley, going to cross the 35-yard line, across the 40, backs to the near sideline, tries to get to the outside, going to be wrapped up.
Holly Bratley on the return for the Pioneers.
And that's going to be how the first half ends.
Becky Lubon on the tackle for the Cougars. And your score at the end of one half of play, Pioneers 6, Cougars 0.
You're listening to Capital Pioneers football.
Stream, they vented out, stopped, and I looked up and it said 0 frames per second.
Another thank you to our gold level sponsors, Charter Construction, Missouri World Delights, Capital Toyota.
Because it said it's not for RTC, it's for RTC.
Also our silver sponsors, Johnson Family Orthodontics, Sportsweek Training System, Enterprise Instant Oil Change, Custom Comfort Heating and Air Conditioning, AJ's Highway Bar and Grill, and Centerline Concepts Land Surveying Inc. Now a shout out to our
That means I'll cut it out. Okay.
Let's shout out to our bronze.
and the Pioneers were able to hand off to Alyssa Flores for the only touchdown of the game. I mentioned this at the end of the second quarter. Each team has had about one possession where they've gone down front to score. The second possession for the Cougars resulted. The first play was a 52-yard pass and catch that went all the way down to the Pioneer 18-yard line, where they were unable to convert that possession into points. And then the last possession for the Pioneers resulted in getting all the way down to the Cougars' 7-yard line, and a couple of penalties stalled that possession. They were not able to get points, which is how the score is 6-0. I want to get a little bit of recruiting information. So Steve Polanski is on the coaching staff. He's also in charge of recruiting. He's a recruiting coordinator. The Capital Pioneers recruit year-round, including in season. So if anyone listening to this, has kind of thought about it, this is the information kind of get out there, and maybe look up some information, maybe reach out to someone on the staff. We'll have that information in just a second. They'll recruit up until the playoffs. If you're interested in being a part of the team, there are a few ways to find out information. The first one is the Capital Pioneers website. That's capitalpioneersfootball.com. You can also visit their association's website, which is salemwomensfootballassociation.com. And you can also send an email, if you'd rather do that, to recruiting@capitalpioneersfootball.com. During the off-season, Capital Pioneers will hold several meet and greet type events. When scheduled, those events can be found on the events page at salemwomensfootball.com. If tackle football really isn't maybe something you want to start with, the Salem Women's Football Association is working to launch the Bombers Adult Flag Football Program beginning this summer. Information for that can also be found on the tab on the website at salemwomensfootball.com, the tab titled Bombers. Recruits do have to be 18 years or older to participate. We'll bring the second half action here. There's about 5 minutes left at halftime. Once again, that's Pioneers 6, Cougars 0. Keep tuning in for second half action here, and you're listening to Capital Pioneers Football.
That was there, but then it lost bandwidth for some reason, so it cut off. So it posted the 27-minute videos. I don't know. I don't think it was though, because it threw a code when I tried to do it again after the hotspot. Yeah. So, and then this is going to be the latter 16 minutes. So I don't know what's happening.
Welcome back to Capital Pioneers football. Halftime is over. Pioneers kick the ball to the Cougars to start the game. So the Pioneers will receive the second half kickoff. Slide. Switch field here. So as we're looking to the stadium, the Cougars will kick the Pioneers from our left to right. Match the YouTube live feed. Before we get going here, I want to thank our sponsors once again. Our gold, Capital Pioneers gold sponsors, Charter Construction, Enduring World Delights, and Capital Toyota. Silver sponsors.
All right, ready for the second half of action. Let's go, Pios.
Enterprise Instant Oil Change, Custom Comfort Heating and Air Conditioning, AJ's Hideaway, and Centerline Concepts Land Surveying Incorporated, and our three bronze sponsors, Pro Circuit Electric, Pence Construction,
Kickoff by Brittany Bianchi of the Cougars.
Broker. Brittany Bianchi is going to kick. It's going to go to the left-hand side. It's going to bounce at the 30-yard line and go out of bounds. So
Penalty flag on the kickoff.
Illegal kick out of bounds. That should put the ball, I believe, at the 30. It'll be the 35 or the 40-yard line. It is important to note the Women's Football Alliance does use NCAA rules, the NCAA rulebook. If you watch college football, or you have watched college football, you'll start to notice things a little bit there should be running the same.
Procedural penalty against the Cougars.
Spotting the ball.
Kickoff will now be spotted at the 30-yard line.
35 or 40-yard line. They're actually going to take the penalty, and the Cougars are going to re-kick. This time they're going to kick off from their own 30-yard line as they run the kickoff team back out there.
Brittany Bianchi set to kick off for the Cougars.
It's a smarter move to do it this way.
Yeah, they'll probably field this kick about
Willie, Missouri, and KG Burton back to receive for the Pioneers.
So Brittany Bianchi will kick again. This time it's going to be more down the center towards Willie Lee, Missouri. It's going to hit Willie Lee and get back to the 25. It's going to be at the 30, middle of the field, going back to the right side, 35, going towards the sideline, cutting back to the middle at the 40. Has some space back there, going to cut back to the middle at the 45, and eventually brought down. That is Brittany Bianchi that was there.
Willie, Missouri on return for the Pioneers. Third of about 20 yards.
33, Desi Manti was
Brittany
also
Bianchi on the tackle for the Cougars.
there.
First and 10 Pioneers at their own 45-yard line.
It didn't look like that decision paid off, as they were going to get better field position than if they were to take the penalty. They will start at their own 45-yard line, or the first possession of the second half. Gabriella Utley going to be the receiver to the right side of this wing T formation. Bradley is going to hand it off to Flores at the right side across the 45, gets to the 50, still on her feet across the 45 for the first down, across the 40, breaking tackles towards the Cougar sideline.
Alyssa Flores, gain of about 18 yards on the play.
An 18-yard gain from Flores and a first down for the Pioneers.
Tackled by a host of Cougars. Penalty placed on the Cougar 37-yard line. Good enough for another Pioneer first down.
She broke about 4 or 5 different tackles on that run, and even when the defense has made contact with her, she still drags those defenders with her. Martinson's going to be the receiver to the left-hand side. Missouri in motion. It's going to be a handoff to Flores again, this time more up the middle. Good defensive pressure there. That's number 3.
Alyssa Flores on the carry for the Pioneers.
No gain on the play.
Aubrey Morales on the tackle.
Second and 10.
No gain on the play. Second down 10 for the Pioneers at the Cougar 37-yard line.
Be a new tailback for the Pioneers as Flores comes off.
Nice having Flores kind of the the hard, heavy hitter. Missouri kind of the fast, agile runner.
Megan Cervantes is going to be the receiver. It's going to be a Broughtley keeper around the left side. Looks across the 35, makes a move, flag on the play. Right now, that's going to be a 9-yard.
KJ Girton on the quarterback keeper. Penalty flag on the play.
Let's see what the penalty was there. Pretty good play called there. Haven't seen a lot of quarterback keepers from the Pioneers. Looks like we're telling you, usually if it's a run, especially if it's to the outside, usually it's going to be some sort of holding. We're still having a conversation about it here to see what this is.
Discussion going on.
Two flags were pulled. They're doing a lot of looking on the Cougars' side of the field, so maybe it was on them. They're still going to mark it off there. So the referee call the flag on the
Have a personal foul call against the Cougars.
Hands to the face on the Cougars. So usually again in that situation, especially on the outside runs, usually it's a hold or maybe a block in the back or something. But the Pioneers gained the 9 yards, but they're going to gain the 9 yards will stand, but that's going to be, I think, half the distance to the goal, or maybe it'll be a full 15 yards.
Penalty yardage will have the ball spotted up at the Cougar 15-yard line.
So it's going to be right inside the 15-yard line, which is a huge break for the Pioneers that can probably take a lot of momentum here if they score first in their first possession in this half like they did in the first half. Utley's going to be the receiver to the left. Kennedy in motion. It's going to be a fake handoff pass to Broughtley. That's caught by Maria Rivera down the right side.
KJ Girton's pass complete to Maria Rivera.
It's going to be just short of the first.
Brittany Bianchi on the tackle for the Cougars.
That's going to be marked right on the 5.
Gain of about 9 yards on the play.
Inside of the 15.
Second and short for the Pioneers at the Cougar
Second and about half
6-yard line.
Really good play again. That might have been the first pass play with Pioneers.
Those play actions, they really get the defense sucked inside and just throw it to the outside, the far side of the field for a nice gain.
Brittany Moore's in the backfield. Yeah, it's going to be a penalty on the Pioneers here. Right now, it's a Willie, Missouri run.
Willie, Missouri on carry for
the
the
illegal motion.
Pioneers.
Both of those wings that sit on
Chelsea
the
Navarro
outside
on the tackle for the Cougars. Penalty flag on the play.
So it is going to be an illegal shift.
Calls the legal shift on the Pioneers.
Penalty so close to the end zone. I mean, it's a close game like this.
Penalty brings the ball back to the Cougar 10-yard line.
Yeah, the penalties here, it seems like every time the Pioneers get down inside the 10-yard line, 20-yard line, there seems to be penalties. And that, again, wasn't a dead ball, like a false start, but again, a pre-snap motion. It's not really sure who's supposed to move there. 2nd and 6. Missouri's the motion. It's going to go up the middle to Moore. Looks like a gain of 1 on the play to the 9-yard line. It's going to be third and about 4 yards.
Brittany Moore on the carry for the Pioneers.
Sarah Hescott
Short gain on the play.
making the tackle.
3rd down and 4 for the Pioneers.
And not many pass plays have been called. Maybe catch him off guard here. Possibly it's a pass play. Maybe something around the outside, or maybe give it to. Moving Missouri's been able to get some things going here, so we'll see if they do that. Utley's going to be the receiver to the right-hand side. Kennedy's in motion. It's going to be a handoff to Brittany Moore. Cuts it up across the 5-yard line inside. Looks like the tackle's going to be made.
Brittany Moore on the carry for the Pioneers.
They're going to mark it. So that is a
gain of about 7 yards on the play.
That's going to be a 1st and goal from the 3-yard
Anastasia
line.
Brandy on the tackle for the Cougars. Gain brings the ball up to the Cougar 3-yard line. 1st and goal, Pioneers.
3 yards.
Yeah, the way the Pioneers have been running the ball most of the game, they should be able to punch us in. Alyssa Flores is back in as the tailback. Martinson, the receiver, to the right side. Kennedy in motion. It's going to be a handoff to Flores. Breaks a tackle in the backfield. Dragon tackle is getting some assistance from her offensive line. Gets all the way down to the 1 yard line. Thought maybe
Alyssa Flores on the carry for the Pioneers.
was stopped short.
Gain of a couple.
There's about
Ball be spotted at the Cougar 1 yard line.
5 Pioneer.
Second and goal, Pioneers.
Trying to push against each other.
When the offense gets all their friends and starts pushing, hopefully you have enough more power.
Yep, fortunately, did gain a couple yards on the play, so 1 yard line, 2nd and goal. Flores still behind Bradley. It's going to be a handoff to Willie, Missouri. Pass across the goal line for the touchdown.
Willie, Missouri, 1 yard and the Pioneer touchdown.
Good play design, just spreading everyone out and having Missouri just take it to the far end.
Yeah, Missouri, well, Flores has too. Missouri's definitely kind of have that speed flair, as you kind of mentioned earlier in this drive, for to counteract that Alyssa Flores power in the running game. And yeah, once she turned that corner, Missouri was able to just kind of jog into the end zone there.
There's times when you're just faster than some other people, and you can run it in the end zone.
So Kennedy's going to be in motion. It's going to be a handoff to Flores up the middle, and it looked like she got over. Yes, she did. The near side official is saying that was good.
Extra point attempt by Alyssa Flores is good. And the score with 9:40 left in the third quarter. Pioneers 14, Cougars 0.
If anyone watching or listening wants to be a part of this Pioneers program, the Capital Pioneers do recruit year-round, including in season, up until the playoffs. If you're interested in being a part of the team, there are a few ways to find out information to learn how to start. There's 2 websites you can go to for information. One is the team webpage, capitalpioneersfootball.com. The other one is salemwomensfootballassociation.com. You can also start by sending an email to recruiting@capitalpioneersfootball.com. During the off-season, the Pioneers also hold various meet and greet type events when those are scheduled. So if you're interested, maybe not this season, but maybe looking ahead to next season, keep an eye out for those. At salemwomensfootball.com, there's an events page in that website you can go to find out the times, dates, and locations for those events. If tackle football isn't really something you want to do right now,
Alyssa Flores set to kick off for the Pioneers.
Working on launching the Bombers adult flag football program that they're hoping to get going by the beginning of this upcoming summer. If you want to participate in flag football, that Bomber information can be found.
Lonnie Zulueta and number 42 back to receive for the Cougars.
Recruits have to be 2 years or older to participate. Alyssa Flores kicked the ball for the Pioneers. High kick. So we feel at the 32-yard line with number 42 getting around the left side across the 40 and out of bounds.
42 on the return for the Cougars. Return of about 7 yards brings the ball up to the Cougar 43-yard line. 1st and 10 Cougars at their own 43.
42-yard line. Looks, no, 43 I think is where it was spotted.
I'd like to give another shout out to our gold sponsors, Charter Construction, Missouri World Delights, and Capital Toyota.
If they don't get anything on this possession,
You get to a certain point, obviously as the time ticks down, time becomes a factor. I think the Pioneers, it's only 10 now on the Pioneers defense. They're trying to communicate that to the sideline. They're running out. There's some confusion on the Cougars sideline too as they're trying to run girls on and off. So nevertheless, it's going to be 1st and 10 from the Cougar 43-yard line. going to hand it off. 42, cross the line of scrimmage. Looks like a fumble.
42 on the carry for the Cougars.
Down by contact after a gain of 1.
Gain of about 1 yard on the play.
Didn't see who jarred that loose.
Second down 9 for the Cougars at their own 44-yard line.
Right as she crossed the line of scrimmage was contacted. Fell kind of right down, so did rule there that was a knee or something went down beforehand. So second and 9, 44-yard line. 2 receivers out wide. Brittany Pianki's kind of playing a tight end position there on the near side. It's going to be a handoff again to 42 around the right side. You across the
42 on the carry for the Cougars.
It's going to be a
Tackled by Jennifer Kennedy of the Pioneers. Penalty flags on the play.
Tackle on the Pioneers. There's Jennifer Kennedy on the tackle. So the player was to the original line of scrimmage, so no gain.
Called the personal foul penalty against the Pioneers.
No gain will be wiped out. So
Penalty yardage brings the ball up to the Pioneer 41-yard line.
This
First and 10 for the Cougars.
For the Cougars, Pioneers on that horse collar tackle moved the ball into the Pioneer territory at the Pioneer 41-yard line.
What they need to kind of jumpstart their offense.
Brennan's going to take the snap from under center. It's going to be a handoff to Aubrey Morales across the 40 and down about the 37-yard line.
Aubrey Morales on the carry for the Cougars. Tackled by Jennifer Kennedy. Gain of 4 on the play. Second down 6 for the Cougars at the Pioneer 37-yard line.
Just under 8 minutes left to go in the third quarter. Pioneers 14, Cougars 0. Time running down. And the Cougars probably need to, kind of what they're doing, just methodically, short gains, as long as you're in the positive here, is kind of what you're looking for. Brennan's going to take this snap from kind of a pistol formation with 2 backs. It's going to go again to Morales up the left-hand side. He gets absolutely great pursuit there by
Aubrey Morales on the carry for the Cougars. Tackle for a loss by KG Gurton.
3-yard loss. So 3rd and 9 for the Cougars.
Loss of 3 on the play brings the ball to the Pioneer 40. Third down 9 for the Cougars.
And maybe kind of looking for a sweep motion. Maybe give it to Brittany Pianki here, needing some yards that had a lot of success around the outside. Ryan, 1 back to her left, 2 receivers out wide, 2 tight ends on the inside. It's going to be kind of a reverse action here to Catherine Alvarez. Breaks the tackle, gets across the 30-yard line to the 29.
Catherine Alvarez on the carry for the Cougars.
Again, that outside running game for the Cougars having success.
Gain of about 10 yards. Brings the ball up to the Pioneer 29-yard line. 1st and 10 Cougars.
The 29 where the Cougars will have another set of downs. 1st and 10.
Besides those passing plays, it's almost just whatever the big yardage plays. Just get your best athlete out there. Just to outrun everybody.
And that's exactly what happened. In fact, Catherine Alvarez just kind of, she got curled up on there, a little bit limping, just ran off the field. So Ryan's going to take it. Anastasia Brandy in the backfield with it. Ryan's going to look to pass, getting pressured, stepping up, taking off to the right-hand side, spin move, in the backfield, taking down to the 32-yard line.
Macy Ryan tackled for a loss by Ashley Watkins. Loss of 3 yards on the play. 2nd and 13 for the Cougars at their own, or at the Pioneer 32-yard line. Timeout, Cougars.
Really, there's no time time back there to pass. The Oregon Cougars do take a timeout. So after the timeout, they'll have a second and 13 on the Pioneer 32-yard line. 5:36.
Just a shout out to our silver sponsors, Johnson Family Orthodontics, Fortunately Training System, Enterprise Instant Oil Change, Custom Comfort Heating and Air Conditioning, AJ's Hideaway Bar and Grill, Centerline Concepts, Land Surveying Inc. Fans, another reminder, next home game, April 23rd, right here at 5:30 versus the Spartans from Seattle. That will be Pioneer Night. Remember, wear your Pioneer gear for a chance to win epic raffle prizes.
And Jason, who is the commentator, facilitator, and sometimes instigator. Jeff and Nate are going to tell stories about their time working as sheriffs together and the chaos and hilarity that surround that at times. They also bring in some of current and former officer guests as well on the podcast. We do recommend use caution of children, as some content may or may not be unfiltered. Implausible deniability on Spotify. Second and 13, there's the Pianki sweep that we've been kind of talking about across the 30. Really good tackle.
Carissa Caballero on the carry for the Cougars.
You need a gain of 4.
Jennifer Kennedy on the tackle for the Pioneers. Gain of about 3 yards on the play. 3rd and 10 for the Cougars at the Pioneer 29-yard line.
We're able to convert a 3rd and 9 and then a 4th down earlier in this possession. As time continues to tick down, this play will take place with under 5 minutes left to go in the 3rd quarter. Two receivers to the left for Ryan and one to the right. Tight end to the right. Anastasia Brandy with one back.
Nice.
Ryan's going to throw. That was a really nice throw.
Pass by Macy Ryan, incomplete.
Becky Lubon.
Intended for Becky Lubon.
That was, again, we haven't seen many pass plays from either team, but
Brings up 4th and 10 for the Cougars on the Pioneer 29-yard line.
Right on the hands of Becky Lubon. Unfortunately, could not bring that in. Had she brought that in, I think she would have had first down yardage inside the 20-yard line. It is going to bring up a 4th and 10. So again, you're willing to throw on 3rd down, probably going to have to throw on 4th down. And for the Cougars, you really want to get points here on this possession after having some pretty relative success here. Ryan is going to pass. Has some time. Now has to step up. Across the 30 to 25 to the 20. It's going to be close.
Macy Ryan on the quarterback keeper.
Macy Ryan gained about
Leslie
11,
Martinson on the tackle.
about 11 yards, and that is going to be a first down. So an excellent pass on 3rd down.
Gain is just good enough for a Cougar first down. 1st and 10 Cougars at the Pioneer 19-yard line.
It's just enough for the first down. I mean just enough. The first down was on the 19, and that's about where it's placed.
Valuable having a quarterback like that when the play breaks down. You can just run right up the middle and get the ball in the middle.
Being elusive, breaking a couple tackles while doing it. Ryan's going to take the snap under center with 2 backs, 2 receivers, 1 to each side. Ryan with the stretch handoff. That's Jamie Zuleta. And it looked like there was a fumble on the play.
Lonnie Zuleta on the carry for the Cougars.
So that's I believe that's the second fumble ruled down by contact on this drive. I think one was the first.
Tackled by Maria Rivera of the Pioneers. Gain of 1 on the play. 2nd down 9 for the Cougars at the Pioneer 18-yard line.
3.5 minutes and counting left in the third quarter. Cougars are looking to cut into that 14-point Pioneer lead. More of a spread out formation here. Zuleta, single back behind Reinen. It's going to go around the left side to number 42, who's only going to gain
42 on the carry for the Cougars. Tackled by Willie, Missouri.
and 8 for the Cougars.
Short gain on the play. 3rd and 7 for the Cougars.
The third quarter is important, but I mean, they don't get any points here. The Cougars with this need a score, need something.
Yeah, with the amount of time it's taken, eventually time's not going to be on your side. If they score here, then then they'll probably be okay. But we'll see what they do here on 3rd and 8. Ryan's going to look to pass. He's going to pass up the middle, and a sliding effort by number 42. It's going to fall incomplete, which is pretty much, I think, this set of downs.
Pass by Macy Ryan, incomplete intended for 42.
It was kind of 3rd and long, incomplete pass on 3rd.
Larissa Adams on the coverage for the Pioneers.
4th and 8. And now you're inside.
Brings up 4th and 7 for the Cougars at the Pioneer 17-yard line.
They had, like we alluded to before, they had a possession in the first half inside the 20-yard line that they couldn't convert on. So they are looking to convert here. 2 minutes and 12 seconds in the third quarter. Ryan's going to have Anastasia Brandy. Ryan's going to look to pass. Looks left. Passes left. Maybe a little bit of a miscommunication there with number 33.
Pass by Macy Ryan,
on the
incomplete.
other side there.
Intended for Desi Manti.
So it is going to be a turnover on downs for the Cougars. The Pioneers will take over for just the second possession.
Rebecca Finneran on the coverage for the Pioneers.
A quick third quarter with one possession for each team. The Pioneers scored on their first possession. The
Ball is turned over on downs to the Pioneers. 1st and 10 Pioneers at their own 17-yard line.
Leslie Martinson, a wide receiver on the left-hand side. Flores behind Bradley. It's going to be a counter to Missouri. Going to get across the line of scrimmage, but not much
Willie,
more.
Missouri on the carry for the
Really
Pioneers.
nice tackle by number 26, Becky Lubon. I think that was maybe the first time Missouri's been held to
Gain of 2 yards on the play. 2nd down 8 for the Pioneers at their own 19-yard line.
One more block, and that probably could have still been running.
Yeah, Lubon had an excellent pursuit, able to bring her down. Took some confusion, a late run on for the Cougars, and they had just called a timeout before the snap. You could hear that from up here.
Timeout Cougars.
In order to not give up any more of an advantage there on the little bit of defensive miscommunication, they called timeouts. That is the second timeout used by the Cougars in the second half. 1 minute, 25 seconds left to go in the third quarter. Pioneers 14. Cougars.
Another shout out to our gold sponsors, Carter Construction, Missouri World Delights, and Capital Toyota.
It is Female Athlete Appreciation Night tonight. They mentioned in the stadium that there will be a group photo after the game, and kind of one of the missions of the Salem Women's Football Association is to emphasize and create a welcoming environment and look to uplift and empower female athletes through American football. And part of that is going to be Female Athlete Recognition Night immediately following the game. will be an after party. Everyone is invited to go. Immediately after the game at La Hacienda Real Mexican Restaurant here in Kaiser on River Road, offering authentic, delicious Mexican food, excellent customer service, and they even make their own corn flour tortillas by hand. All percentage of the proceeds will go to supporting women's football. As we resume the action, run up
Alyssa Flores on the carry for the Pioneers. Tackled by Aubrey Morales for the Cougars.
Number 3.
Gain of a couple on the play.
On the tackle.
Brings up 3rd down 6 for the Pioneers at their own 21-yard line.
And we're kind of getting into the territory where the Cougars kind of have to have things go their way here. I'll stop here on 3rd and 6, and then, assuming again on 4th down, if the Pioneers decide to go for it, will be important for the Cougars as they look to maybe cut down that lead. Flores is going to get it around the right side. He's going to go across the 25 and look like got across the first.
Alyssa Flores on the carry for the Pioneers. Gain of about 7 yards. Good enough for another Pio first down. First and 10 Pioneers at their own 30-yard line.
This clock got going into the 4th quarter.
Yeah, they may have to run a play. I'm not sure. They ran the clock with 29 seconds left. I don't think they're going to have to run a play here. So the Pioneers are going to let the clock expire for the end of the 3rd quarter, and that'll pretty much be, I believe, the offensive strategy going forward in the 4th quarter is to run down that clock.
And to score at the end of 3 quarters of play, Pioneers 14, Cougars 0.
Right before the action kind of resumed there, after all the home games, part of the Women's Football Alliance that happens is they host an after party, and again today's is at La Hacienda Real, which is the Mexican restaurant here on River Road in Kaiser. And again, anyone is welcome to join. The teams reserve the back room of the restaurant if you're familiar with it. I believe starting at 8:30 was the time, and anyone who purchases anything during that time period, La Hacienda will donate a percentage of those proceeds back to support women's football and athletics. So the season is 8 weeks. The Pioneers will have 2 bye weeks, including one next week. We'll kind of hit that at the end. Get going. Pioneers. Maybe a pretty snap penalty there. Pioneers have had a new quarterback. We haven't mentioned it. That's number 23, Daniel Dunn. 1st and 15, looked like a false start penalty on the Pioneers. Flores still the tailback. Moore is in motion. Dunn's going to look to pass to the left side, up and over, is incomplete. Pass is intended.
Pass by Danielle Dunn, incomplete, intended for KG Curtin.
Almost. The Cougars did have a defender a little bit
Brings
deeper
up
on
2nd
there.
down 15
Perhaps
for
had a chance at
Pios
interception there.
at their own 25-yard line.
But huge for the Cougars. But I think they will take the clock stoppage on the incomplete pass here on 2nd and 15.
Yeah, that ball was intercepted. She had a lot of room on the right side to possibly take it back for 6.
So Dunn, ready for the snap. Motion by Adams. It's going to be Flores at the right side, breaking tackles. I thought there was a whistle before, and then it kept going.
Alyssa Flores on the carry for the Pioneers.
Play, thrown at the 28-yard
Run out of
line.
bounds by Tressa Miller of the Cougars. Penalty flag on the play. Injury timeout.
So Lisa Flores got tackled on the sideline. She's still down. She's getting up now, so hopefully she's all right.
Lisa Flores, the injured Pioneer.
Taking a hard hit, had to come out for a few plays. It's a tough runner.
Yeah, we'll see if she comes back in, especially, I mean, we've seen a quarterback change already. Perhaps that's because of the score. Perhaps just kind of letting different people, different players get reps. Whatever it is, we'll see if she comes back in. We'll keep an eye on her. They're still sorting out the penalty. Haven't quite figured out what the call is here. That play took place on 2nd and 15 for the Pioneers after a false start.
Well, it seemed odd. It sounded like there was a whistle, but she was still in bounds and went a couple other yards and then got tackled out of bounds.
Penalty calls holding against the Pioneers.
So it is going to be a hold on the Pioneers.
Penalty brings the ball back to the Pioneer.
The Cougars are going to accept the penalty.
17-yard line.
March the Pioneers all the way back
2nd
to
and long for the Pioneers.
17-yard line. That's going to be 2nd and 23 for the Pioneers. Just 15 seconds gone in the 4th quarter and counting.
Really want to dig in here when you have 20 yards to go for a first down. It's really what you want to get the defense going.
Dunn's going to look to pass. She's going to scramble across the 15. Hard hit.
Danielle Dunn on the quarterback keeper.
Looks a little bit shaky.
Tackled by Becky Lubon of the Cougars.
By 26, Becky Lubon.
Injury timeout on the field.
There was some good contact on that play there. Maybe a little bit shaken up by both.
Probably some of the hardest hits we've seen all day.
Yeah, Danielle Dunn kind of took it around that left side, and she kind of had a head of steam going. Lubon right there in a position to make the tackle. Lubon's up and walking to the sideline. So that's definitely a good sign for her. Still evaluating Danielle Dunn.
Take this opportunity to give another shout out to our gold sponsors, Charter Construction, Enduring World Delights, and Capital Toyota in Salem. Also another shout out to our silver sponsors, Johnson Family Orthodontics,
their support,
Forshey Training System, Enterprise Instant Oil Change, Custom Comfort Heating and Air Conditioning, AJ's Hideaway Bar and Grill, and Centerline Concepts
silver
and
sponsors,
Surveying
Johnson
Inc.
Family Orthodontics, Forshey Training Systems, Enterprise Instant Oil
Danielle
Change,
Dunn, the injured Pioneer.
Heating and Air Conditioning, AJ's Hideaway Bar and Grill, and Centerline Concepts, Land Surveying Incorporated, as well as our 3 bronze sponsors, Pro Circuit Electric, Pence Construction, and Home Smart Realty Group, Joelle Drumhauser. And looked like, so Dunn was able to get off under her own power. Play's going to go here. There's all sorts of movement in the backfield. About 13 yards, and Leslie Martinson looked like
Punt
she was
is recovered by the Cougars. On the Cougar 41-yard line, 1st and 10 Cougars.
For the Cougars, Brittany Pianki maybe tried to return that. It looked like maybe there was a fumble. Whatever happened on that play, that is going to be Oregon Cougars football. So with just under 13 and a half minutes left to go, Cougars will need to put some points on the board here on this possession to keep this game within reach. Taking over at their own 42-yard line, 1st and 10.
I almost think they go for a big play here first. You almost just throw it, kind of get them off guard.
Yeah, the last 2 times we've seen Mason Ryan and throw. They've been pretty good balls. Just haven't been able to bring in the catch on the receiving end. She will have one back behind her. Looks like Pioneers are bringing a blitz. It's going to be a toss to the 42 on the right side. Jennifer Kennedy, excellent pursuit.
42 on the carry for the Cougars.
Number 52, Carson
Jennifer
Lewis.
Kennedy on the tackle for the Pioneers.
Looks like another injury on the play.
Injury timeout on the field.
Tosses on the short side of the field. You know, if you just can't get to the edge, you have so much help over there. It just
Loss of 3 yards on the play. Bring up second down, 13 for the Cougars
Pursuit by Carson Lewis
at their own 39-yard line.
on that play. So kind of what happens, there's a little more huddling around. Looks like that's Jennifer Kennedy. That's up, and she is walking and jogging under her own power, which is, once again, fortunately,
Jennifer Kennedy,
the number of injuries, especially in the second
Pioneer.
half, there hasn't been anything it's been a serious looking injury. They've all been able to walk off under their own power, which is obviously a great sign. We talked about Alyssa Flores on the near side during the last possession. She's back in. She's back in now. So a good pursuit there by Jennifer Kennedy. And we'll see kind of what that looks like. Hopefully, it doesn't look like anything too serious. She looks to be in good spirits on the sideline down there. So first play of the Cougars' possession was a loss of 3. So second and 13 from their own 39-yard line. Ryan's going to toss. That's going to be Anastasia Brandy across the 40-yard line. Dragging tacklers down to the 43-yard line. It's going to be a game.
Anastasia Brandy on the carry for the Cougars. Willie Missouri on the tackle.
Maybe again, 4th yard there. So it's going to be 3rd and 9.
Yardage brings the ball up to the Cougar 43-yard line.
Again,
3rd down 9.
Time is going to be an issue for the remainder of this game for the Cougars, especially offensively. Third and 9 play. Brandy to the right of Rynan. 2 tight ends, 1 to each side. 2 receivers, 1 to each side. Rynan takes it. It's going to be a sweep action, number 42. Looking to get on the outside, breaks a tackle across the 40, 45, steps out of bounds at the 47.
42 on the carry for the Cougars, run out of bounds by Willie Missouri.
4th and 5 for the Cougars.
Gain brings the ball up to the Cougar 47-yard line. 4th and 5.
Bounds by Willie Lee, Missouri. This is going to be an important 4th and 5 play for the Cougars. Under 12 minutes left to go in the game. Ryan's going to take the ball. It's going to be a Pianki sweep. A lot of room over to the right side. Caught from behind. I think that was number 52, Carson Lewis, that ran her down from
Brittany
behind.
Bianchi on the carry for the Cougars.
And that was
Leslie Martinson on the tackle
Leslie
for the
Martinson that
Cougars.
was able to kind of wrap her up and get her to the ground after Lewis pursued her from behind. So a play that has had a lot of success, that Pianki sweep to the
Ball is turned over on
weak
downs.
side of the field.
The first and 10 for the Pioneers at the
First time that
Cougar
really hasn't
46-yard
worked,
line.
and in a very key defensive moment for the Pioneers.
tough way to end that possession with 11 and a half minutes left to go in the game. Turning the ball over down 14.
Yeah, you don't want to say anything's impossible, especially when there is quite a bit of time left. But just given how this game is going and the Pioneers' ability to stop the Cougars on offense, the Pioneers want to take off as much time as possible here. Bradley's going to hand it off to Flores across the 45-yard line. He falls forward.
Alyssa Flores on the carry for the Pioneers, tackled by a host of Cougars.
3 yards. It's going to be 2nd and 7.
Gain of 3 on the play, 2nd down 7 for the Pioneers at the Cougar 42-yard line.
Eat up the clock here. Just run it up the middle, keep it on the ground. Don't throw the ball here.
Yeah, nothing too spectacular here. Probably going to be up the middle runs, maybe on the outside of the line. I don't see anything fancy for the Pioneers. There's always going to be a motion. The handoff's going to be to number 27, Brittany Moore. It's going to be good. It's good pursuit.
Brittany Moore on the carry for the Pioneers. Tackled by Teresa Caballero.
It looks like a loss of 1 on the play.
Loss of 1 on the play brings up 3rd down 8 for the Pioneers at the Cougar 44-yard line.
It's going to be 3rd and 8. Ten and a half minutes left to go in the game. Well, it's going to be the motion. It's going to be a counter to Willie, Missouri across the, almost got to the 40-yard line again.
Willie, Missouri on the carry for the Pioneers.
That counter play by Missouri, and they really
Desi Manti on the tackle for the Cougars.
So, a play that broke
Gain of a couple.
in the first
4th and 5 for the Pioneers at the Cougar 41-yard
definitely
line.
wanted to focus on that and not allowing the big explosive plays, which we really haven't had any explosive plays on either side in this half.
That's what the Cougars needed here. They need one more stop here and get the ball back and see if they can get some points on the board.
It'll be a 4th and 5. Bradley's going to hand it to Kennedy across the 40 and to the 35. That's going to be
Jennifer Kennedy on the carry for the Pioneers. Sarah Hescock with the tackle for the Cougars.
The Pioneers have done that to the Cougars a couple times.
Gain of about 6 yards.
Got that 4th and medium, 4th and 5, 4th and 6.
Yardage is good enough for a Pioneer first down.
To extend a new set of downs. Had the Cougars made that stop, they would have had over 9 minutes to perhaps put some points on the board. Now the Pioneers are going to look to continue taking down some clock. Missouri's going to do the motion. It's going to be a handoff to Brittany Moore. The clock continues to move, but 3rd and 17.
Brings up 3rd down 16 for the Pioneers at the Cougar 42-yard
The
line.
ball on the ground, running the ball. They're not using as much time off the play clock as they can. Since the stadium doesn't have a play clock, the back judge who's behind the defense will put his hand up or to the side when there's 5 seconds left on the play clock, just so they know how much time's there. And he hasn't had to do that. So using time, high snap through the arms of Bradley, goes right to the arms of Flores, trying to get back to the line of scrimmage. Looks to be
Alyssa Flores on the carry, tackled by a host of Cougars. Loss of 1 on the play.
Certainly not want to lose that snap over.
Injury timeout on the field.
Flores was there. It's going to be a 4th and 18 on the play. There's a couple. There's one Pioneer down. We don't have a number yet. Didn't see what happened, so we'll see kind of what happens here as they take a look at that. Again, just to give some background information here on the Pioneers. The Capital Pioneers are Salem, Oregon's professional women's football team. The team was formed in 2019 and played its inaugural season
Moynihan, the injured Pioneer.
2021. The team was formed to bring tackle football opportunities to female athletes in the Salem, Kaiser, and surrounding areas.
4th and long for the Pioneers at the Cougar 43-yard
A
line.
league of 60-plus teams nationwide. The season runs for 8 weeks, culminating in the WFA National Championship at the Pro Football Hall of Fame in Canton, Ohio. Pioneers went undefeated in the regular season last year, and then lost in the Pacific Region Championship to the Arizona Outcast last season. Unfortunately, Kayla Moynihan, number 62, was the injured Pioneer, and she was able to walk off. During punt formation, Alyssa Flores could not handle the snap. Looked a little
Fumble
high.
recovered by Pioneers. Alyssa
So
Flores
instead of getting the punt down
at the Pioneer 45-yard line. Ball is turned over on downs to the Cougars. 1st and 10 Cougars.
We're going to take over in Pioneer territory at the Pioneer 45-yard line with 7 minutes, 15 seconds left to go in the game. And if it wasn't make or break before, it's going to be make or break now.
Couldn't have set up much better here for the Cougars to get some points on the board in the last 7 minutes.
Yeah, it'll be, again, Macy Ryman, a couple good throws the last time. They haven't really looked to throw the ball, or hasn't had enough time to throw the ball. They're going to have to do something a little more than try to run here in order to get the 14-point deficit made up by the end of the game. Ryman has 2 running backs, 1 to each side, 2 wide receivers, and a tight end. Ryman's going to scramble to the right. Looks like a designed run. She has some space across the 45. Lowers her shoulder and goes out of bounds to stop the clock. It's a gain of 3 to the 42-yard line.
Macy Ryan on the quarterback keeper.
Second and
Gain of
7.
about 3 on the
Cougars.
play. 2nd and 7 for Cougars at the 42-yard line.
And the clock is going to run, so I'm not sure if she got out of bounds or maybe it looked like maybe her momentum took her backwards. The snap will take place under 7 minutes. Same formation as before. One of the backs offset to the right, one directly behind. Ryan's going to do a quarterback keeper again. Lots of space around the 40, 35, and out of bounds around the 33.
Macy Ryan on the quarterback keeper for the Cougars.
So 2 quarterback design.
Gain is good enough for a Cougar first down.
Right hand side, both combined enough yards for a first down.
It would have been nice to have some of those in the first half, kind of get your offense going.
Yeah, and a lot of the offensive success for the Cougars on the ground has come from
1st and 10 Cougars at the Pioneer 34-yard
It's not
line.
designed and kind of a broken play, and she kind of has to go that way anyway. So 34-yard line of the Pioneers. Looks like they're going to be in the same formation for now. Ryan's going to take the snap. It bounces once, gets to a relatively cleanly, passes across the right side, and incomplete. A couple of Cougars in there.
Pass by Ryan, incomplete, intended for 42.
Intended for number 42. It's going to be 2nd and 10. 6 minutes, 10 seconds left to go. 14-0. Pioneers over the Cougars. So far, keeping the ball in Ryan's hands has been the go-to move on this possession. Going to scramble to the right, looking to pass. Good-looking ball, pass over the top. And there is a flag on the play.
Pass by Ryan is incomplete.
KG Girton had a really good opportunity to intercept the balls. It was just slightly
Intended for Becky Lubon. Penalty flag on the play.
Sure. We'll see what the flag is here. Call a
pass interference against the Pioneers.
So, again, this is why you don't want to say earlier that it's over. You know, a good-looking ball just a little bit overthrown by Ryan. A lot of times, sometimes those passes can result in pass interferences. So now they're going to have another possession where they're inside the 20. This set of downs is going to start inside the 20 at the 19-yard line with 6 minutes and 2 seconds left to go in the game. Rynan going to keep it this time and go to the left. She's got a lot of space over here, 1 to beat. She does break the tackle in Missouri across the 15 to 10, the 5, and makes it into the end zone for the Oregon Cougars touchdown.
Macy Ryan, 20 yards and Cougar touchdown.
On the left side, I could be eating my words here soon, saying What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, when that play developed, Lily, Missouri was right there to kind of set that edge, and Ryden put a really good stutter step move to get her just a little bit of space, and once she turned the corner, she kind of had a clear path to the end zone there. So it appears they will go for the 2-point conversion. 14-6, 5:51 left to go for this untimed conversion. Ryden, ready for the snap. It's a low snap on the ground. Looked like it was shoveled. Oh, it was shoveled ahead to Brittany Pionki, who got to the 1 yard line.
Extra point attempt is no good, and your score with 5:51 left in the fourth quarter. Pioneers 14, Cougars 6.
On that conversion for the Pioneers going forward. Kind of interesting to see what happens here. 14-6, Pioneer lead. 5:51 left to go in the game. Pioneers will get the ball back here after this short break to set up special teams. One more time on if any female athlete is wanting to participate, there's some ways to get involved and find information. Capital Pioneers, one of their assistant coaches, Steve Kowalski, is also the recruiting coordinator, and would love to talk to you if you're interested. Pioneers do recruit year-round, including in season, so it's not too late to join for this season to get involved. There are some ways to find out information. There's 2 websites. One of them is SalemWomen'sFootballAssociation.com and CapitalPioneersFootball.com. You can also send an email to recruiting@CapitalPioneersFootball.com. If you're not interested in tackle football, but maybe want to start with flag football and maybe work your way up, the Salem Women's Football Association is also working on launching a Bombers adult flag football program that will hopefully begin this summer. Information for that can be found on the Bombers page at SalemWomen'sFootball.com. Pionki is going to kick. It's going to kick it long, kept it in the middle of the field. It's going to be received by KG Girton.
KG Girton
yard line.
on the return.
45-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10. 5 minutes, 40 seconds left to go in the fourth quarter.
Turns the ball up to the Pioneer.
Pioneers 14. Cougars 6.
45-yard line. 1st and 10 Pioneers.
This is always kind of the interesting, seeing what kind of play calling you get here. You want to obviously run the clock down and not give the Cougars a lot of time, but you also don't want to be too passive to give the Cougars, decent field position for a potential next possession. Broughtley's going to hand off to Flores across the left side. Has a lot of space across the 50. Dragging.
There's a Flores on the carry for the Pioneers.
Both Flores and
Sarah Hescock on the tackle
Sarah Hescock
for the Cougars.
are down, so
Injury timeout on the field.
get some attention there. I do want to mention too, haven't mentioned this yet.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you bought a 50-50 ticket, I have a winning number for you.
Capital Pioneers do have social media, obviously a YouTube channel that we will hopefully get running a little more smoothly here for the next game in the next
Winning number
weeks.
477
on YouTube.
1 2
live streams.
3.
There's also free social media.
477 1 2 3. See number 16 on the field for your prize winnings.
They're also on Twitter and Instagram. Twitter handle is at SWFA Pioneers, and you can find them on Instagram at Capital Pioneers Football. So there's a little bit more. They have our Marion County medics out on the field, and we're not gonna speculate here on what happened. That was Sarah Hescock, the one who made the tackle on Flores, who's getting that attention. Keep you updated on her status, and hopefully she's okay.
I'd like to give another shout out to our gold sponsors, Charter Construction, Missouri World Delights, Capital Toyota.
Once again tonight.
Also our silver sponsors, Johnson Family Orthodontics, Fortune Training System, Enterprise Instant Oil Change, Custom Comfort Heating and Air Conditioning, AJ's Highway Bar and Grill, Centerline Concepts Land Surveying, Inc. Another reminder, ladies and gentlemen, next week, our next home game, April 23rd at 5:30 right here, versus the Spartans from Seattle. That will be Pioneer Night. Wear your Pioneer gear for a chance to win epic raffle prizes.
Dallas, Oregon, Capital Toyota here in Salem.
Also another reminder, immediately following the game at La Hacienda Real Mexican Restaurant here in Kaiser on River Road, we have an after party. They are offering authentic, delicious Mexican food, excellent customer service, and they even make their own corn and flour tortillas by hand. Join us for the after party.
And Centerline Concepts Land Surveying Incorporated in Oregon City, Oregon. And then our three bronze sponsors, Pro Circuit Electric in Lake Oswego, Oregon, Pence Construction, also here in Salem, Oregon, and Joel Drumheiser, broker with Home Smart Realty Group. So unfortunately, Hescott is still on the ground here, so I may take just a slight break here and
It's like 35 got some hair.
and resume. Might resume once the teams kind of take the field and things are ready to go. So we'll take a short break here as we wait for the medics to take care of Sarah.
I've been bent over like that the whole time. I think a hair's gone. That's my best estimation. It's, yeah. Except something is wrong.
Sarah Hescock, the injured player on the field.
Did he grab scissors? Because they would all have trauma shears on their person. I have trauma shears on my person and I'm not an EMS. Oh, shit. Okay, never mind. Oh, it's her leg. It's gotta be her leg. Did they grab a SAM splint though? Okay, so he's inflating something for the yeah.
unfortunately there for Sarah Hescock, again, don't know extent of any injuries right now, but the Marion County EMT unit that's here appeared to use an air cast on her leg. They did have to bring up the stretcher. They put the stretcher out on the gurney and was wheeled off. So we hope Sarah's okay. Play is going to resume. It's going to be a handoff sweep to Jennifer Kennedy across the 45-yard line, which is going to be a first down for the Pioneers.
Jennifer Kennedy on the carry for the Pioneers.
3 more yards. Tackle made.
Gain is good enough for another Pio first down.
And number 9, Anastasia Brandy.
First and 10 Pioneers at the Cougar 42-yard line.
43-yard line. 4 minutes, 50 seconds and counting. Pioneers 14. Cougars 6. Cougars are going to be looking for a turnover here. Missouri in motion. It's going to be a handoff to Moore. Bounces to the left side across the 40. Gets to the 39-yard line. And that's where she will be tackled.
Brittany Moore on the carry.
Gain of 3 on the play. It'll be 2nd and 7. As the clock continues to wind down.
Gain of 3 on the play. 2nd down 7 for the Pioneers at the Cougar.
Another injury. This time it's a Pioneer on the ground.
Injury timeout on the field.
That's number 27, Brittany Moore.
2nd and 7 for the Pioneers at the Cougar. 39-yard line.
So this next play for the Pioneers will take place with about 4 minutes left to go. Martinson. Flores is actually going to take the handoff up the middle, dragging tacklers with her. Was contacted at the line of scrimmage, gained 6 more. She might have been able to. She pushed for almost a first down there on what should have been a gain of probably 1 or 2.
Melissa Flores on the carry for the Pioneers.
To bring up a very manageable 3rd and 1 for the Pioneers.
Stop just short of the first down. 3rd and 1 for the Pioneers at the Cougar 33-yard line.
I would anticipate they're going to do this again. Just run it up the middle. Get a first down.
And I said Martinson was the receiver. It was actually Megan Cervantes that was the receiver to the right side. Martinson is now the receiver on the left side of the formation. Kennedy. It's going to be motion. It's going to be a counter to Missouri. Has some space across the 35, back to the line of scrimmage, across the first down marker, pushed out of bounds on the
Willie Missouri on the carry for the Pioneers.
3 on the play, but that is
Right out of bounds by Becky Lubon.
Pioneers first down.
Gain of about 4 yards on the play, good enough for another Pioneer first down.
Again, kind of interesting on the play call there. You know, they've been really Missouri seems to be a focus. You know, the 3 or 4 or 5 times that she's been called to run that play, and again, not a big gain, but certainly enough for a first down. Really key for the Pioneers. Bradley's going to hand it off to Flores across the 30-yard line, running, stays on her feet to the 26, pushes ahead.
Melissa Flores on the carry.
Looks like to the 26-yard line, a gain of 4 yards.
Gain of about 5.
It's going to be 2nd and 6.
2nd and 5 for Pioneers
26-yard
on the
line.
Cougar 26-yard line.
Guys are ambulance.
2 minutes and 10 seconds and counting. Pioneers doing exactly what they want to do here on this possession. Cervantes, the receiver to the right-hand side. Bradley. It's going to be a handoff. It's to Rivera.
Maria Rivera
Maria Rivera
on the carry for the Pioneers.
It's going to be the 22-yard
Tackled by a host of
line. It'll be a
Cougars.
3rd and short again for the Pioneers.
Gain of a couple on the play brings up 3rd down 2
1.5 minutes
for
left
the Pioneers
in the fourth quarter. They
at the Cougar 22-yard
clock
line.
all the way down. If they don't get the first down here on 3rd down, they may be able to run a play on 4th down and run it out. Otherwise, it'll be really close. So the Cougars were not able to get that stop that they needed early in the possession to have a chance to score again. Bradley's going to hand it off to Maria Rivera again. It's going to be bottled up at the line of scrimmage. She did push forward for a late
Maria
surge.
Rivera.
She's only going to gain 1 of the 2 yards needed for a first down. So it is going to be 4th down.
Tackled by Shelby Fountain.
Cougars do have 1 timeout remaining, which is they're
Stop
going
short
to
of the
choose
first
not
down.
to use it right now.
4th and short for the Pioneers.
5 seconds left to go in counting.
What do? Do you take a timeout now and have a 4th down, or?
Yep, they choose not to. Bradley's ready for it. It's going to be a Bradley keeper, and they take everyone out across the 15. Gets to the 10 and down at the 10-yard line.
KG Gurdon on the quarterback
Play
keeper.
call to keep it going. They were expecting the same thing, run up the middle, and had it been a run up the middle, the Cougars may have
Game
stopped
brings the
it,
ball up to
but
the
it was a
Cougar
quarterback
10-yard line. 1st
21
and
seconds
goal,
left to go.
Pioneers.
1st and goal for the Pioneers on the on the 10-yard line, and they do not need to run another play. So the clock's going to run out. They do not have to run another play. So that is how the game is going to end. Pioneers running that last possession.
And the final score this evening, Capital Pioneers 14, Oregon Cougars 6.
The Pioneers remain undefeated in the regular
Ladies and
season.
gentlemen, will all female athletes present please join the teams on the field for a group photo to show the incredible diversity and power of females in sports. We would also like to take a moment to recognize the opposing team player of the game. Those honors going to number 31, Macy Rynan.
I want to thank our sponsors one more time. Gold sponsors. 3 of them there. Charter Construction. Enduring World Delights and Capital Toyota. Thank you for your gold sponsorship. Silver sponsors, Johnson Family Orthodontics, Foreshade Training Systems, Enterprise Instant Oil Change, Custom Comfort Heating and Air Conditioning, AJ's Hideaway Bar and Grill, and Centerline Concepts, Land Surveying Incorporated, and our bronze sponsors, Pro Circuit Electric,
Another reminder,
Construction,
immediately following the game now at La Hacienda Real.
I want to thank again
On Kaiser Road, we got our after party. Come join us for great Mexican food and excellent customer service.
We'll have an after party at La Hacienda Real in Kaiser on River Road, and anything purchased
That's on River Road in Kaiser. Come join us for the after party.
will be donated to help.
Also, our next home game, April 23rd, right here at 5:30 versus the Spartans of Seattle. Remember the previous Pioneer gear, that's Pioneer Night. Wear your Pioneer gear for a chance to win epic raffle prizes.
I'm Justin Locke. We will be back with you in 2 weeks for
Once again, all female athletes present, please join the teams on the field for a group photo. And again, congratulations to opposing team player of the game, number 31, Macy Ryman.
Good.
Charter Construction, Missouri World Delights, Capital Toyota. Another shout out to the bronze sponsors. Pro Circuit
probably good to call
Electric,
this.
Pence Construction,
Wanna leave it?
and Joel Grunheiser.
Oh, I didn't know I could do that. I didn't know I could do that. I didn't want to try it during the stream. Put something up though. I didn't want to try it during the stream.
I'd like to thank everyone for coming out this evening. Please drive home safely.
Oh man, we good?
Yeah.
Okay, calling it.